Bang! Neevesknives. Wait, how'd it go? Wait, bang! We're Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and we are live on Neevesknives, ladies and gentlemen. Almost messed up my intro. Too worried thinking about this new Kaiser sheepdog non-flipper, man. This thing is so good. It's so good. This thing sounds so amazing too. Like the recorder, you know, when I recorded it, it doesn't even do it justice on the microphone. Like, especially compared to like if you're in a certain room where you can really hear that echo. It's so good. Really good quality. Also, we got a few things we're going to talk about with Kaisers. But speaking of this, I'll probably say this a couple times because people will probably be asking as people jump in. The Kaisers, the ones that I had in the video, the beg lighter frag and the sheepdog non-flipper titanium should be ready in January. So those of you that do want to get up on these, January, sometime in January, they should be available and ready to ship. I heard they should be shipping in January. So it takes like 2 weeks to arrive or something like that. Now, I also got in, and I haven't done a video on it. I'm going to record it tomorrow, probably tomorrow, the next day. A chef knife done by Kaiser, by the guy who does a lot of the Kaiser designs, Kaiser knives. He works for Kaiser. Awesome dude. Really cool dude. I talk to him all the time. And he's the one who has done all the designs for O Knife. And he did a chef knife. And it is fucking nice. Like, really nice. It's made with carbon steel. And it's really, really nice. I can't wait to show you guys. I'm surprised that they just stepped into that realm, the chef knife realm, but I'm glad they did because, man, this thing is really, really nice. I'm not sure what the price point's going to be yet, but I can't imagine it'll be too much money. But it's really, really well done. I thought it was kind of going to be. I was kind of on the fence about it, like how it was going to be. I wasn't really sure, but yeah, they knocked it out of the park. The geometry on that chef knife is insane. What's up, Jared White? Pump today, got the White Mountain Knives exclusive. My card to 3V Kaiser Cormorant this morning for 82 after 10% discount code. Do they have those out already? I didn't even know they dropped those. What the hell? We'll actually talk about the Cormorant here in a few moments. Awesome knife, but I do have one little problem with it. But awesome knife. But yeah, I didn't even know they dropped them yet. That's cool. So, excuse me. We have some new Wiha knives we're going to check out too as people start rolling in. Jared, I swear you didn't show all the Kaiser knives that you got in that video. I saw like 6 Kaiser boxes and you only showed 4 knives. No, I did. What it was one. What was it? There was one that was 2. So there was 2 denim micarta feists. Then there was, I hope I showed them all. Shit. There were 2 feists, the PPV, the beg lighter, yeah, and then the SS1 and this. So yeah, that was all of them. It's just there was one that was the same knife twice. Just one had a satin blade and one had a black washed blade. And speaking of that, we're gonna actually show some of the stuff that's going to the Patreons. It'll probably be right after the new year when it ships out. I'm not sure. I'll probably do the video right. I gotta wait for Richie B. As soon as he gets done carbonizing the lock face, he should have it by now, if not by tomorrow or something. But as soon as he gets it carbonized, he'll ship it back, and then we are going to pull the giveaway. We're going to show one of the other knives that's going in that giveaway. We'll show that here in just a second. Yeah, there was duplicates, so there was no point in me showing it. I just showed it really quick. It had a satin blade, one had a satin blade, one had a black blade. And I didn't show them too much because I just did an unboxing on the exact same knife the day before. So I didn't want to, you know, to sit there and spend so much time on that one when I just did a whole video on it yesterday. Their micarta and their G10 are both phenomenal. You'll love it. I'm not sure what we're talking about. So, really quick, I want to talk just a little bit. How many people are in here? Let me see really quick. I don't want to get too started. We have 43 people in here. Don't forget to drop a like. So, the Kaiser knives. One thing I want to talk about is the bearings being, because not all of them, some of them have, it almost feels like you can feel the bearings moving in them a little bit. Not all of them do this, but some of them do. And I know why. Well, one reason why, and also this goes to why they're so smooth. I think I got my lighting down too. Looks pretty good. Well, one reason why, how they got some of these Kaiser so ridiculously smooth, because some of them don't even make sense. Like, how did they do that? Like, how the hell did they get that light of a blade just complete fall shut when it's locked up rock solid? Like, you would think it was loose. Well, what they did was they took the pivot area and they milled it out to the max. There's basically barely any metal down there. And I'm not saying there's not enough metal to support or be strong. I'm just saying they took as much as they possibly could out. So basically what it does is it makes it where it's blade heavy. So when you unlock it, all the weight is on this side and there's hardly no weight on this side. Then the bearings, even though they're perfectly fit and everything lines up and everything's flat, because there's no weight or not a lot of metal surrounding the bearings, that's why you can feel them sometimes. You can feel them because on some knives, there'll be a lot more metal in between the bearings and you, basically. And in some of the Kaiser's cases, on some of their models, not all of them, but some of them, they did so much relief or so much steel removal to get that action that it makes it where the littlest tiny bit of the movement of the bearings you can actually feel. So, you know, I guess it has its ups and downs, but they're rock solid. There's no play or anything like that. It's just when you release them right here like this, you can actually feel the bearings roll and then like stop right there. And then when you drop it, sometimes you can feel them like trying to continue to move. Now, you can tighten the pivot down a little bit more and kind of slow it down a little bit, but most people want that fall shut action. Damn, I'm glad I grabbed one. I didn't think they'd go with that right away, but I'm glad I checked. What are you guys talking about? That Cormorant? It would look better if you weren't in it. I know. What's up, baby?
Hey. Did you know I was here the whole time?
I felt you coming. I really like that Kaiser with the frag panner. Do you know what the price will be? I do not know, but it is titanium and M390. So it's.
You know what I know about that knife?
What do you know?
That it's mine.
I wrote in the video because remember you kept talking. I typed in the video. I said she's already planning her attack or some shit like that, like to steal it.
It's already done.
But no, I got my hand. No, I'm not sure about the price. I'm guessing. So this is the thing, is that they are able to do the 20 CV and M390 for right around $100. Add the titanium on it. It's probably going to be, if I had to guess, $150. That's my guess.
Knives have gotten
That's not too bad.
So cheap from when I started liking knives.
Sure.
It's insane. Like that knife would have been, I was just joking when I said $210, but it would have been that.
Like $250 probably.
It would have been that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having M390 on it. There wasn't a knife when we've like really got into the community. You didn't see an M390 knife under $200.
Hey, Kara, did you claim that frag pattern knife already? Absolutely.
I don't want to hear more with the acoustics on that. Oh, I know. This thing is so good. The acoustics are amazing. I got to talk about that knife, baby. I'll give it to you after.
No. Now. Talk now. And give it to me and never see it again.
But yeah, this thing has... I'm not sure. I never tried the regular titanium flipper version, so I can't compare it to that one. but compared to a lot of other frame locks, one, it has that real solid feel to it. So
I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave.
So
See you guys later.
Since it has that solid feel, you know, you really feel the quality in it. The detent is nice and strong, feels super solid, yet it's easy to flick, and I can even do it left-handed. You know, so that says a lot right there. But the detent is so strong that when it locks back in, you hear that click. And since you can hear that click, that just adds to it. It's so good. It's really good. I highly recommend that one. I knew it was going to be good because of how much I really like the large non-flipper micarta one. Since I like that one so much, I knew having it in titanium. Now, obviously, this is way heavier. You know, this is a lot heavier. It's probably why they do these cutouts. I don't really care about weight, though. Weight has never been something that I really cared about. Put Tucson bearings in Kaisers. They have rattly bearings, makes them feel solid all the way around. Yeah, I haven't tried that, but I did try some Gillians one time, and that worked out pretty good. But yeah, bearings might change it a little bit. A lot of it's got to do just because like I said, there's a lot of steel removal back there. So since there's not a lot of steel back there, they cut it out so much. Like if you notice the Towser K, if you look down in the pivot of the Towser K, you can actually see the because I think they're using the plastic bearings. You can actually see the outside diameter of the bearings when you look down inside of it right here, and it's clear as day. You can see that the center of the metal in between the two bearings is very thin, and the bearings are like right next to each other. So that makes it where it's mostly bearings on that side. Like it's all cut out, like on both sides, on the outer part and the inner part where the blade is. It's cut out on both sides and the top. So the bearings are almost not surrounded by much. They have the walls that they're rolling on, and that's it. So it's pretty crazy when you actually take it apart and you look, like you see, like there's a lot of weight relief, which is why they're just so damn smooth. There's no weight on that side. What are you doing? You're loud as hell out there. Oh, I'm coming out there.
Don't you dare. I need a knife pouch.
A what?
A knife pouch.
What do you mean a knife pouch? I don't understand.
I
don't understand. What do you mean?
Do you not know what a knife pouch is?
Like one of those down there in the box?
Yeah.
Grab one.
I need one to keep though.
Go ahead.
For keepsies. Gotta be a big one for your knife. Oh yeah.
All right, let's check out some of these new Wiha knives really quick. I got one of them pulled up. Yeah. So this is one of them. We have the Man, when I look in this screen, she's still there, so it feels weird. The sub-jugular. This one looks pretty cool. This is a Wiha knife. It's supposed to be coming out in February, as you guys can see. Lots of different options here. I think that one looks pretty cool. We're going to see some of the other ones that they have, because they have another knife that I really like. But that one's pretty cool. This is the one that I'm kind of psyched on. Now, there's another knife that they talked about at the beginning of the year that I haven't seen anything on. Now, this is the Wiha Knife Beacon. 20 CV, 3.4-inch blade. It's supposed to be hitting December 30th. So keep your eyes out for these if you guys want to get one. I think it looks really cool. It kind of has that, what the hell, the Stinger kind of look. The flipper, the fuller. I know it's very similar to the other knife they dropped. Oh, I went past that one too fast. Looks like you have good access to this fuller. I kind of like this little finger area they put around the lock bar. But I think that one looks pretty cool. Now, that is the Wiha Knives Beacon. Now we have another one to check out. Now the other one I believe is already out, and that's this one. But here, let me go up to the last post of it. This one right here. I think this one's already out. I mean, it's okay. The Arsenal, the Wiha Arsenal. I don't know. It looks okay. I like the way it looks in a lot of ways. I'd love to try it. But looks pretty cool. I'm not positive. Maybe it's not out yet. But I'm pretty sure it was. I thought I seen it on like Knife Center or something. What's up, Russ? All right, now what else do we have here? Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's this other knife, man. I don't know why. I can't seem to find it. I forget the name of it now. What the hell is that? Man, that looks like a deep hollow grind. Anyways, we're gonna check out another knife here in just a second. Let me pull this out. But yeah, there's this one knife they showed at the beginning of the year that I haven't seen again, and it was supposed to come out in December, but I don't see them saying anything about it. And I know that they had prototypes at the beginning of the year. Even Stasa 23 had one. I don't know whatever happened to it. Let me catch up. Is there another knife maker that does blades similar to Rockstead? Thanks. What do you mean similar? Do you mean like polishing, or do you mean just like the way it looks? Because there's a knife, it's a budget knife. It's not like a Rockstead, but it's got some similarities. I did a video on it. It's called a Katsu. And it's supposed to be like a Japanese style folder. They're like $80. I did a video on it. If you look at my video, I compare it to the Rockstead because it's trying to look like a Rockstead. Now, like I said, it's $80. I think it's 154 cm. Really nice carbon fiber. It is steel though, not titanium. But it does have that Rockstead look for a budget. Now, actual Rockstead, that's like Japanese style or Japanese design. But there are other makers out there. Now, what you could do if you really wanted to look like a Rockstead, you'd have to buy blank knife that had a similar design and send it to a knife modder to get it polished and shit like that. Bought an 20.5 from NC Blades, free shipping, and they use UPS. So there's damn it, man, I'm backed up. All right, guys, I'm gonna scroll all the way down to the bottom. Oh, cue ball, late as usual. There is someone in the community who has 3 knives for sale right now for only $100. A Benchmade Griptilian sheep's foot, the regular one with the sheep's foot blade in the hole. A Tonto Elementum with copper. I think it's copper. It's either copper or brass, but I'm pretty sure it's copper. And a Civivi Shredder. They're all like new for $100. Just so you guys know, if you guys want his information, contact me afterwards. What's up, Erica? Erica's in the house. Shout out to Not Your Average EDC. Go and check out her channel. Go and sub to her channel. Maybe one of the moderators can throw a link up for everybody to go sub to her channel. There's knife modders right there. Just to let you know, I have not received the quote. No, you'll probably get it in the next day or two. I shipped it late, so you should probably get it tomorrow or the next day. I got the tracking I can send to you, but it shouldn't be there yet. Probably not till like tomorrow. But yeah, like I said, it'll probably be there tomorrow. Because I believe even the other stuff I shipped the same day isn't going to be there till tomorrow. So shout out to Richie B and Lindy Lou. Knife modders, go and get your knife modding done by them. Best knife modders in the business. So I wound up picking up one of the little Dapper Designs. I don't even know the name of it, to be honest. It's just a little flashlight that the Lefty EDC recommended. 650 lumens, pocket clip, titanium. It has a magnet. It's pretty cool. I do like it. USB chargeable. Now the button is also really nice. You can feel it, you know, like, and hear it. I like a good button that you really know when you click. I don't like the ones where you don't know if you clicked it or not. Now, the one negative thing, and it's not even negative, I guess, I just need to learn it, and I think you have to maybe set it the way you want it, but trying to figure out, like, if I need to double tap to turn it on or hold it down or push it down, because it seems like it changes sometimes. So I think I have to set it to exactly how I want, and then it'll be fine. But maybe I'm wrong and I just need to figure it out. I didn't read any directions or anything, but it is really cool though. It was like $60 and it's titanium. And like I said, 650 lumens, that's pretty good. It's got the moonlight and then, you know, like 4 modes. So pretty cool. The clip is really nice too. I really like the way the clip is.
Can I tell a quick story?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, because this just popped in my head and I was like, damn it, I forgot to tell you this. So the other day, I'm at work, okay? And I hear this person talking about a knife that they have. And they're sitting there, they don't fucking know me. And they're sitting there talking about how it's it's made out of this steel that you never have to sharpen. It's like a pocket knife. He's showing it to another dude and he's like, yeah, it's a steel that you never have to sharpen. He's like, yeah, I use this thing like literally on everything, all the time. Boxes, this and that, and you can see, like, I don't have to sharpen it, feel sharp. And then the other dude's looking at it like, wow, that does look really sharp. Like, I don't know how it looks sharp, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I walk up.
It looks sharp.
Of course, because I'm not going to hear this and not walk up, right?
Yeah.
And I go, can I see it? And I'm looking at this bitch. I swear on my life, there's 2 lies told in this story. The first lie was that this motherfucker used his knife. Because
second one is that it's sharp.
The second one was that it said stainless on it.
What did it say?
That was the steel.
Oh, it said it was stainless. Oh, I see.
Steel.
Oh, okay.
It was some nondescript bullshit ass knife.
So it wasn't even a good steel.
No, it wasn't like some weird carbide steel that you don't have to sharpen forever, which is what he was making it sound like. Right. Although he wasn't using those terms, he was just saying how it's like this real expensive
really good steel.
And he was saying that the
proof. Man, did you destroy him?
So I had to think about
reality.
This. Remember, I'm a leader in this situation, right? Like, these people work under me, so I'm trying not to be a dickhead. But literally, I walked up, I looked at this thing, and I go, I think you got ripped off. So instead of making him look like a liar, I just made it look like he was stupid. I thought that'd be better.
Right.
Because I know he was lying because he doesn't use it.
Right.
There was not, if he had already been there most of the day, if he had used that knife on one damn thing, I would have been able to see the goo from the tape. I use the shit out of my knives, and I'm telling you, right, like, I know what it looks like to use a knife for loading freight. Like, I know the types of things you would use it for, and whatever. Point is that he definitely didn't use that thing. And also, like I said, the steel name was stainless.
Yeah.
So you ain't gonna get no stains, bro, but that's about it. And I just thought that it was the funniest shit ever.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the time when I had this other guy who knew I was into knives come up to me with some bullshit like Milwaukee knife.
Yeah.
And slammed it down and was like, now this is a safe knife. That automatic shit you carry isn't even safe. And I go, my knives aren't automatic. What are you talking about? He's like, they're not. No, dude, they're manual. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I get that comment all the time on my videos that my Milwaukee will do just the same thing your knife will do or some shit. And it's like, all right, bud. All right.
I know, and that's.
Sometimes I go down that path with them and have a discussion because I like to have a discussion
I carry
with
a
them.
hinder at Target. I carry all types of stuff at Target. There was one day because we're not allowed, to technically have knives.
I know, it's just crazy.
But
Sugar quantum really
well,
hurts
because
my ex-wife stuck
they have
my shoulder.
they have box cutters that they want you to use because they think if you carry a blade that's not safe and then you cut yourself with it, it's still on them because you're at work or whatever. So they make sure to make it not a rule.
Super chat's not working.
You want what's
It looks like it's working. It's working just fine on this end.
But they don't want you to carry anything but their box cutters, which I'm telling you right now cannot handle some of the work I need to do at all. The type of stuff I have to fix, and I have to be a jack of all trades type maintenance person. I can't do that with a freaking box cutter.
Right.
And
well, I talk about that all the time, like that.
Wait, let me just finish the sentence. I'll let you go. I dropped my knife though. I was coming out of the bathroom and it was hanging out of my pocket, and I dropped it in front of like the biggest boss there could have been in front of me at that time. Dropped it right in front of her, and she goes, "What's up?" And she goes, "Kara, you dropped your illegal box cutter." And I just looked at her and I go like this.
Yeah.
As I'm picking it up, and she goes, "I didn't see anything." I was like, yeah, you were a real one. All right, I'll let you guys go.
Right.
I just had to tell a story.
But no, I don't think there's anything wrong with the super chat. There shouldn't be. I mean, it's showing up on my other side. Usually it wouldn't be there if there was something wrong. Look at my face. All right, so we got a bunch of things to get into. So we have 106 people in here. Let's show off one of the giveaway knives for the Patreon members this month. Now, this knife was donated by Mr. Amazing a while back, and it is a Custom Knife Factory Impad. We'll show it really quick. This is just one of the couple, because we have the custom that we're giving away. We're going to give away this one, which is numbered. They don't make them no more. So it is an awesome knife to get. It's carbon fiber titanium M390 number 85. Very, very awesome. Comes with extra hardware, the card, and everything else. So I think it'll be awesome to give to you guys. It kind of has a little bit of a lighter detent, but that's how Custom Knife Factory knives are. It is super smooth still. Bolster lock. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the donations are working, it looks like. Looks like it was just you, Shane. Thank you. Mostly folders and a bit of everything for the 2 bones. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, bud. It's fun when Kara gets excited while I'm camera. Definitely. Nothing. No, he just said it's nice when you get excited on camera. But I'll probably tune it up a little bit. It still has a really good edge, and it's almost a mirror. But what I'll do is whoever wins will have the choice of whether or not they want a specific edge put on it or whatever. We'll take care of that. Now, I'll probably give away one of the denim micarta feists with the denim roll, because we got 3 of them now. So might as well give one of those out, and we'll probably do 1 or 2 other things. Maybe a flashlight. Definitely, the custom knife, that knife, the denim micarta, and then a couple other things. But I wanted to show that off for some of the Patreon members that are in here with us. Now, talking about what's up, Paper Tiger? Talking about the work sharp really quick. Where did it go? Okay, so these stones, these diamond stones, if you do wind up getting the 6-inch stone holder, you can get these in 4-inch too, I believe, by the way. It comes in a whole pack. These are for the TS Prof system from Russia, but it goes from, 150 grit up to 1,000. And these are really nice diamond plates. I also recommend the Atomas. The Atomas are really, really good, but I'm just not sure how easy they are to get in the 6-inch. Maybe you can get them. I'm not positive. I have some of the 4-inch ones, and then the big plates. So good thing I don't need a gift. What's up, JN? Now, that I forgot to mention in my work sharp video that I also had the chisel attachment to sharpen chisels. So just so you guys know, if you guys do have the work sharp and you guys want to be able to sharpen chisels, there is a chisel attachment that you can get for that work sharp, you know, just a little extra, which works really good. Now, I was going to talk about cleaning some venev stones. Maybe we'll talk about that here in just a little while. But I do want to talk about some first aid kits. So, oh man, I should have linked it. Maybe I should wait for this. So, you guys should definitely get or have around, whether it's in your car, in your house, a good first aid kit. And not just a first aid kit, but more like a trauma kit. That comes with things that a first aid kit doesn't come with. Now, this is more of a survival pack, but if you do get one, you should definitely, which maybe I'll do a video on this so you guys can see the inside and see how it's packed, because it's packed super tight. Now, there are a couple things I would say if you get one, plan on replacing the knife that they usually come with and the flashlight, possibly even the compass. But comes with so much. I mean, you got a tourniquet, you got a thing for CPR. I mean, obviously the little things like whistle, compass, and then first aid supplies for wounds. Lots of good shit in one of these, but you can get these for like 30 bucks. Now, if you want to get a nice knife in there and a good flashlight, you're going to pay a lot more. But I recommend just getting one of the less expensive ones and then supplying your own knife. That way you already know it's going to be a good quality knife in there that's going to last. What knife did I put in here? Look at the knife that came with it. Check this out. This is the knife that came with it. This thing is total shit. This is what came with it. Now, this thing is like, I can just breathe on the flipper tab and it'll go off because there's no detent and it's an assisted knife. This thing is dangerous, like in a bad way, like not in a good way. So, piece of crap knife. It's already almost locked up at 100%. It'll probably fail if I spine whacked it. So what I did was I didn't need to put an expensive knife in here. I just needed something that I think is somewhat reliable. Now, I just chose the Kaiser Doman because this one came with an extra strong detent and a little bit of lock stick, which I figured would be good. I don't mind the little bit of lock stick. That lock stick reassures me that this is really locked up. But just a solid knife. There's nothing special about the Doman, but it's N690 steel and micarta. But it's slicey, good blade shape. If I got into some shit and I needed to open this up, this would be just fine. And it's got a nice sharp edge on it. Now, the flashlight I'm going to replace in here is most likely maybe a Surefire. I thought about throwing the Surefire in there, but it might be actually one of... Well, I talked about this one. This one's a good idea to put it in, this through night, because this actually will charge a phone. You can charge your phone or your flashlight or something, and it comes with the cord in there to charge multiple different things off of the battery that's provided. And this light isn't very bright, so it's perfect for lasting for a long time on a little battery. So this is a really great camping light. And it comes with a thing where you can hang it to stuff, and it is magnetic, but it's not super bright or anything. And you can take this off too. But what you can do is you can peel this little guy off like this right there. And then you can take the battery and you can plug it in right there and you can charge your phone or charge whatever because it's got different cords. So that is, a good idea, I guess, for a light. Now, the other lights that I would replace for in here wouldn't be good for those things, but they'd be super bright. like something like this. You know, it's a really good light, super bright. I got a bigger one too, or even one of these little ones that last a long time. But those are the two things I would recommend mostly to replace like right away. And then the other things would be, I guess, okay for the, you know, for an emergency, because you're hoping you're not going to have to use the stuff. Now, the first aid kit stuff I use all the time. Hell, as soon as I got this, Kara gave me a bunch of shit. She's took more things out of here than I have already. Fucking every time I turn around, she's trying to grab something out of my survival kit. She's wanting my clips and my whistle. All right. What do we got? Agreed. On that cube, I have several recommended spots. What? What do you got there?
Nothing. You're lying. No, you're lying.
Someone here referred me to a website that sells trauma kits, but I forgot the name of the site. Can anyone help? Well, one, I did a video not long ago on what was it? On these pouches and bags. They actually sell stuff there, but you can go right on Amazon and get good trauma kits for like $30. Now, obviously, the more you spend, the more items you get. Like I said, though, what they'll do is they'll get you by throwing in a couple like dumb things, and the price won't go up any higher. But what you'll get is you'll get the actual pouch and like a knife and a flashlight that they kind of just throw in there. And I say take it, just go for it. Like that, you know, you still get the same first aid kit stuff. So you get a nice big pack, everything's stuffed in. But like I said, you're going to want to switch out the blade and the flashlight. You can get them all over the place. Like I said, Amazon. I'll probably do a quick video on that one and show what's actually in it. And then maybe a couple other ones that I recommend. What's up, Knife Sergeant? Shout out to Knife Sergeant. Get your asses over there and sub to his channel as well. All right, Dave, take it easy, brother. Hey, Maj, we might have a spammer. Who's the spammer? Do we have a spammer in here? I don't see him. All right. We do have word of the day today. We're going to talk about here in just a little bit. The Critical Mini. I kind of wanted to talk about this really quick because I think a lot of people want them getting these. They're 3V, $100. $100, you can get 3V. You can get the whole or the non-whole. They're both really good knives, solid knives. Micarta, good quality micarta. And they are solid knives. Like, they're really solid. They're not really the ones that you feel the bearings rolling on. So they are a little bit stronger built, but they do have all that weight relief though. So they are very fall shutty. So they're probably not going to be as tough as some other knives. And you can really see all the relief cut out in there. If I shine this light in there and you look. Fuck me. Maybe you can see in there, maybe not, but you can see how there's so, maybe not. It's probably too bright, but there's so much weight relief in there. It's insane. But $100 3V and micarta. Now, the one little issue, and it's not even an issue, you just have to use it, is it does come with a very stiff detent, like a really stiff detent. You might get it and not even be able to use the hole. So just know that when you get it, if you guys get one, that you're going to have to flick it a lot. Is Tri-State in here? I don't see him. But yeah, awesome knife. If you guys do want to get it, just be warned, the detent is very strong on the one with the hole. So you're going to have to flip it a lot to kind of break it in. So somebody made a comment on, because I just said in a video, you guys probably heard me. It was after I did that spine whack on the button lock. What else did I do? I sharpened it, did a spine. Oh, I fixed the spring in it because, it was on the Cogent. The Cogent had some blade rock issues. So I fixed the blade rock issues by taking out the spring. Tri-State, what's up, man? Shout out to Tri-State. Go and sub to his channel as well. The non-flipper sheepdog I have in 10V also has a pretty stiff detent. Yeah, this titanium one has a stiff detent, but in a good way. This thing's nice, like really nice. Like I can reverse flick it with my left hand. I can't reverse flick this with my left hand with my nail. I can do it if I just use the meat of my finger, but it's tough. Like it's really stiff. It's stiff in another way. The sheepdogs, I agree, they're pretty stiff, but I like them like that. I want me a nice strong detent. So one that can break in over time. And I don't know, I like that nice break of that detent. Man, this thing is so badass. But I made a comment in the video saying not to do the things that I do, that is just for your entertainment, right? And somebody said, why are you showing us how to do this stuff or something like that if you don't recommend us doing it? And they're right, you know, like obviously I'm showing you what I do so you guys can do it. I'm not showing you for nothing. I'm showing you so that you guys can do it. But what I'm saying is that if you fuck up your knife or your warranty, it's not my fault. So I just want to make that clear. Like you see me spine whacking a knife and it makes it through it alive. That doesn't mean yours is gonna. If you take out a spring on a knife and you stretch it to give it a stronger detent or to fix some blade rock, if you fuck your knife up, it's not on me. You can't go to the company and say, hey, Neevesknives showed me how. That's not gonna work. So I'm just saying like that, you know, I'm doing it for your entertainment. Do with the information what you wish. Yeah, I'm just giving a disclaimer. Like you can do, I mean, obviously do whatever you want to your own shit, but just don't get upset at me if it doesn't work, right? Like I know how much tension to put in a spring, and that's why I always tell you guys a tiny bit. Like when I teach you guys how to fix a detent or make a detent weaker or stronger or fix lock rock issues or blade play or anything like that, I know I've done it so many times that I kind of know the amount of tension and the amount of bend to put on a lock bar or on a spring or whatever. But I've definitely done stuff where I've made a knife worse. So I know what it's like to not know exactly how much to do. But that's why I always say a little bit goes a long way. You don't need a lot. Just try it a little bit. You can always do more. Now, you can take some back, like say if you're going to strengthen a detent, right? If you strengthen it too much, you can always take it back apart and bend it back a little bit. But the more you do that, the weaker you're making that lock bar, and it's not good for it to go back and forth, back and forth. So you want to try to get it as close as possible. So it's better to do a little bit, and if you need it a little bit stronger, then go a little bit farther. Kind of like the spring. If the spring didn't work the first time around from the little bit of stretch I did to it, if you guys watched the video on the Civivi Cogent, if it didn't work the first time, I would have took it back apart and did a little bit more. And if that didn't work, I would have done a little bit more. And then if that didn't work, then I'd been done. Like I wouldn't have went farther. But the first time, just that little tiny bit. And you guys seen exactly how much I stretched it. It didn't take much. I literally just took it off and just went wah, wah, wah with the spring, because the spring's like this big. And I just spread it apart a couple times, put it back in, and it's perfect now. But the spine whack did not have anything to do with that blade rock. That blade rock happened just from cutting stuff and flipping it, you know, and it's typical on button locks. That happens to Protex. That happens to every damn button lock out there. It's just something that's typical on button lock. Man, this has got a sharp edge. Holy shit. Smash that like button. Yes, thank you, Cue Ball. All right, I'm going to show you guys a knife. Okay, so my dad passed away a few years back. And I guess, I don't know, he left a couple things with my aunt, and she actually handed this to me and said it was my dad's. And it says 1830 Winchester on it. I don't know. It's probably from the 70s or something, but check this little guy out. It's a back lock The hammer is the back lock. It still kind of locks. I mean, I could probably force it open or force it closed, but it's got some scroll work on it. What steel does that say? It says ART on it. That's it. ART. And you can tell somebody either attempted to sharpen it or something. Like, look at this blade. This blade is wrecked. Who knows what my dad used? Oh, wait. I heard my grandpa, I think, used to have this or something, and he cut a bunch of stuff up. I don't know. It is unloaded. Yes, it is unloaded. So don't worry, ladies and gents. Don't worry. Watch this action, though. False action. I can almost Spidey flick it, but. Ooh, that's some drop shuttiness right there. That blade looks like it belongs on display in a dollhouse, right? That's funny. All right. So, let's do word of the day really quick, and then we'll move on to a little bit of steel talk. So, word of the day is ricasso. Well, we have two words, but ricasso is going to be the first one. So, ricasso. What is the ricasso? A lot of people ask me because I'll mention, like, I'll say ricasso, and then people will say, what the fuck is a ricasso? So, the ricasso, let me grab a fixed blade for this. That one will work, but we're going to grab another one. So, the ricasso is the unsharpened part. If you look at this Spyderco Gale Bradley, right here, where it's not sharpened, that's the ricasso. This whole part right here is the ricasso. Oh, trying to do it on camera here. Right here. This is all the ricasso. So there's two parts to the ricasso. The spine can be part of the ricasso because it's just this farther end of the blade before the handle is the ricasso. Now, when we go into a folder, right, the folder, we still have the ricasso, even though it's a folding knife. So when we talk about the ricasso, we're talking about usually on a folder, the part that's in here. You might not even be able to see it. Now, on this knife, you can actually see the ricasso because I can use it as a finger choil. On this, we would say the finger choil, right? This is the finger choil. But the finger choil on this knife is put onto the ricasso. So this is all the ricasso right here and what's under here. So the pivot on this is in the ricasso. Now, a lot of times when we talk about ricasso, it's on a fixed blade, right? It's on a fixed blade. So the tang, sorry guys, you guys get the point. So when I say the ricasso, now you guys know what I'm speaking about. It's the non-sharpened part of the blade closest to the handle. In a folder, it could be inside the handle a little bit. Now, Jared already tempting us with that. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. January, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so the next one is the Quillon. Now, the Quillon, we're actually going to have to pull up the fixed blade. I didn't know this, so this one's new for me. The Quillon is the finger guard right here. So it can go back here too. So you can have a double Quillon, which would be back here, but basically the finger guard. So the flipper tab on a knife, on a folder, would be the Quillon. So, like, let's pull back up the Critical Mini. Let me pull this out. So this would be the Quillon, which is the finger guard that stops you from sliding up the blade. I didn't even know about that, but that's good to know, I guess. I guess when you hear people, they use the scientific terminology, I mean, there you go. Now, I've heard the word ricasso for a long time, so that's one I use. It does sound French, doesn't it, Miller? But that's what it is. It's Quillon. Ricasso is Ricasso. You love that I'm learning about swords? Well, now this doesn't have a Quillon, but it does have a ricasso. So this would be the ricasso. Now you could say, no, I guess not, because it doesn't have a spot to stop you from slipping up the blade. So there's no Quillon on this, but there is the ricasso, which is the unsharpened part of the blade. Remember, this is sharp right here. This is not. And if this was actually a double-sided blade, if it was sharpened on both sides of the spine too, then this part back here is still the ricasso, because you know it wouldn't be sharpened right there. So let's lay this right here. It is a nice Kukri, ain't it? Yes, that's the main gripe on Kukris. The bolsters don't have a Quillon, but it does have something to stop your hand from sliding up the blade. Well, so he's right. Yes, it does. So instead of the Quillon, this, it has this ring right here onto the buffalo horn. So that basically, and also from slipping the blade out of your hand, you have back here. Because when you curl it, your fingers, the way your hand grips, this is the smallest part. But this is also the strongest part of your hand is the ring finger and pinky, especially when you're like swinging something. You know, you're really hanging on right there. And then these fingers kind of let it, you know, jump back and forth a little bit. And you use the pinky and the ring finger to really grip. So this stops you from sliding off. But this ring right here stops you from sliding up. That locks you in, because if you look, it's right in between my fingers. So like even if I jam this into something, I wouldn't slip up. Also, the way a Kukri set up is when I punch with this, my force is actually going down and like it's pushing this blade forward. My hand is not sliding up. It doesn't do that. When I punch, my hand is actually going downward. So it's not going up. It's going downward just because the way how it's arched. I'm trying to block, but you guys are too fast. I just tuned in and holy crap. Yep, you're missing out. You're supposed to grip with the forefinger. You're supposed to grip with the forefinger and the thumb, loose grip. With the other three fingers, you tighten your bottom three fingers, the blade naturally falls forward. Right. Exactly. Yeah, because you do want the other two, because you need that for that balance. Like, not saying like right before you hit, you might give it a little squeeze, but for the most part, you kind of let those be so you can kind of swing it around more, especially if we're talking about for fighting and stuff. Now, if you're talking about chopping trees and stuff, you still want that balance where you can move it around. That's true, it would, but you don't have really no feeling of slipping up that horn really locks you in really good. You have no feeling of slipping upward at all or back, because it's too wide right there for it to slip out, and that ring really bites into you. And I don't mean in a bad way, but it does stop you from slipping up. You feel no sense. Like, I feel like I could punch that through a wall and not slip up it. Like I said, the leverage pushes down. So it's trying to think of a good way to talk about it where it's kind of hard to explain. There's not too many things built like that. that you feel like that's the way it would go. Because on most knives, if you punch it forward, you feel like you have the ability to slip up the blade. With that, you don't. Because it feels like your handle's poking down. Like the worst thing that's going to happen is it's going to stab and your hand's going to go down, not up the blade. Jared, finish your knife rack. Sending it soon. Awesome, Pat. Thank you, man. Thank you. He's making a knife rack. I'll just wait to show you guys. But he's also the one that made the Neevesknives logo back there. You guys can see. I got my tray kind of blocking it a little bit. I wish I could get rid of this. I've been trying to get rid of the Neevesknives square. Where is it? Right here. This square that's right here. I can't get it off the screen. Well, we're going to have to show me. I got photos of it. I do. Well, not the finished product. I got photos of some of it. Okay. Now we're going to do some steel talk. Now it's up to you guys. Name that steel. Name that steel. All you guys have to do is name that steel. Whatever steel you guys feel like, name that steel. Let's talk about it. First one to name that steel, that's the steel we're talking about. If we get two, then maybe we'll talk about them both. Name that steel. That Neevesknives logo wood plaque, it is awesome. I really like it. Okay, we got 20 CV first. 20 CV. So 20 CV, my opinions on 20 CV. Now, first of all, I want to talk about 20 CV done right. Like not necessarily a custom heat treat, but a good heat treat, good quality heat treat. Riat does a good quality heat treat on it. TRM seems to do a good quality heat treat. Although TRM, their first batches tested with that one versus a newer batch, the older batch didn't do as good as the newer batch. So all companies seem like they progress with 20 CV. Seems like a lot of companies, when they first start using it, they don't do as well. But they slowly but surely catch up. Now, 20 CV done right, meaning it has a good heat treat and it had a good HRC, is an incredible, incredible steel. And it is a real true super steel. And we see it so much, we do tend to forget that because it's on everything now. M390, 204P or 20 CV is the same thing. So remember that 204P, 20 CV, and M390, same thing. It's got incredible edge retention. It is very, very stain resistant. Now, it's not tough. It's not a tough steel, so it's not something you necessarily want on a fixed blade, especially if it's a fixed blade you're going to be chopping with. But for folders, it's fine. It's actually exceptional. It's great. It's amazing. It's what we want. It takes a nasty sharp edge, and with a good heat treat, it takes any edge. You can do a good polish on it. You can do a good toothy edge on it. Now, it is a powdered steel. So, being a powdered steel, okay, so it has a lot of carbides in it. So, you can lay back the edge on it with really good results. Now, I have seen from time to time it get a little bit microchippy. Not bad though, and a lot of times, you wonder what's user error and what's not. Without a perfectly controlled test over and over and over, it's hard to say what was and what wasn't. But for the most part, it does hold a really good edge at a low angle. Now, if you do experience microchipping, you could raise the angle or you can throw a micro bevel on it. But the problem with it seems to be that it was never really made for production. So production heat treaters, which, remember, with production, they're trying to bring you as many as possible for the best price. There's a reason why they're able to get it to us for such a low price. Being able to grind it, heat treat it and get it to us for such a good price. That means they have to do a lot, right? So 20CV M390 wasn't designed or made for production heat treaters. Doing it in small batches, you get good results. Doing it because, and the reason why is because, and I don't know the exact number. Maybe Richie B, if he's still in here, maybe he knows the exact number, but I think it's within like 100 degrees or something like that. It has to be done. So if it's higher or lower than that, then it won't come out as good. And I mean, during the heat treating process. So when you have a big oven and you have a lot of knives, it's hard to control the temperature on every single one the exact same. So you're going to have variables. So one might be really good while another one might not be, might be a little off. So, and that's kind of the problem we run into with these production knives having M390 and 20CV. Some are going to be great. Some are going to be really good. Some are going to be average, but you're going to find some that don't do that well. And if you look at some of the cut tests that were done over the past couple of years, you know, shout out to all the cut testers and all the people that put in all the hard work, you know, doing the controlled tests. M390 was shit in the bed. And in many cases, it was doing as bad as, I hate to say it, but it was doing as bad as like, and not saying this steel is bad, but it was getting the same numbers as like N690 and OS 8 and shit like that. Like that's not, it's not supposed to be that way, but that's how it was then. Now I do think they are getting better and we are seeing a lot better heat treating, especially when they found out, those companies found out that these steels are being tested. But if you go to a reputable company that is reliable, then you're pretty much guaranteed you're going to get at least a decent M390 or 20CV, but you're not guaranteed. Now, that's why a lot of people will pay the money for the smaller batch knives, the knives with the smaller batches, or even custom heat treaters. Anyone else get the micarta beagle? This thing has some of the best thumb studs action. I got your G10 one. Yeah, it does have some great thumb stud action. All the Kaisers seem to have incredible thumb stud action. Even that the PPV that I just did an unboxing on, that thing was incredible too. This little guy, awesome. I mean, this one's titanium with a steel liner lock, but man, such good action. It's insane. That is one thing that Kaiser has down pat is their action. Their thumb stud action is insane. Some people are or have been complaining about them having too strong a detents. And I was just complaining about this one having too strong of a detent. So I didn't really see too much on the beg lighters, but that Doman did. The Deviant has been rocked. I'm so glad you said that, man. Why are not more people screaming about the Deviant? I feel like I'm the only one. I'm the only one. The Deviant is fucking amazing. I love this knife. And I love the way it looks. The micarta with the copper. I mean, on mine, the other one, you know, is more of a tuxedo look, but I love the way this thing looks. You know, it just has that that vintage look to it. Yet, you know, it's still modern and stupid smooth. It doesn't have that feeling where you feel the bearings at all. Very solid. The action is stupid good. Jared, I remember you praising the Deviant and the Convict when you first got them. Right. And I still feel the same way. I still love them. One, I do like sheepdog designs. Now, it's not that this is my favorite blade shape or anything, but I do think it's a great blade shape for EDC. I still like a spear point better and a drop point better, but damn it, man, you can't deny a good knife when you get one. And this is a damn good knife. I really, really like this knife. It's amazing. I bought it on my Christmas shopping live stream. I got the tuxedo one. Love it. Great design. Amazing value. I haven't tried that one. But I know with this one, man, I love it. Now I'm curious because mine's going to be heavier than yours because I got the copper, and it's one of the things I love about it. I love that it has not a lot of weight. Like it's not like say this knife where it's all copper, so you got a ton of weight. It's just a, you know, just the bolster. So nice weight to it, man. It feels so good. But I can still imagine. I'm sure yours is great too. But yeah, the Convict is another one. The Convict, fantastic knife. The thing that held that knife back was having one form of deployment. And I don't mean just one form of deployment, literally one form of deployment. It has a single thumb stud, thumb disc, but it's only on one side and you can't turn it around. So the only way you can deploy it is by the thumb, the right thumb. Because in your left hand, it's not that easy to reverse flick because it's a frame lock for, as talking about the Convict. How's the heat treat on the M390? Okay, so I tested this one, the M390, the 20 CV on the October, and both of them, one thing I really liked was that they felt the same. So I didn't feel any difference really. So that's one good thing. Now, I did not do a controlled test. They sharpened up really good. They felt good on the stone. They felt good sharpening. No problems there. And a lot of times with M390, when it's bad, it's noticeably bad. You feel it right away. And for people that don't understand what it feels like, so when you put a steel on a stone, or the stone to the, you know, you can use a fixed angle system too. Put the stone to the edge or the edge to the stone, either one. When you swipe into it, the diamonds or stone, you feel it bite into the steel and kind of grind it. Now, when it's hard, you feel like skate across it. It still bites really good and removes steel really easily, especially if you're using diamonds. So it'll still sharpen up really easily, but that feeling of it skating across, you can really tell that it's hard. You know, when it's soft, it's more like, you know, everybody's felt like soft wood versus hardwood, right? You know, when you go try to carve a stick, right? A soft wood, your edge is just gonna bite into it. You know, it's gonna be really soft. If it's really hard, you know, it's gonna be a lot harder, and it's like gonna, you know, more skate across it. It's kind of the same thing, but I think it's done pretty good. I didn't do a controlled cut test, so I can't speak for it on edge retention, but I can speak for it like it's not bad. It doesn't feel soft to the stone. Now, one downfall is I did notice that, and this goes for most, I'm not saying this is just these guys, it doesn't seem to hold its fine edge for a very long time. You notice that it has a really fine edge, but pretty quickly after you start using it, you'll notice that fine edge goes away pretty quickly, and you'll get down to that working edge. Now, the working edge lasts a long time, but that fine edge does go away pretty quickly. Now, you can tune it up pretty easily on a strop, so it's not that you can't bring it back, and it seems like it comes back pretty decent. I mean, I'm not going to say it comes back like 14C or anything like that, but it comes back pretty decent. But all in all, I would say I think it's at least done average, pretty good. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's outstanding, you know, but the price, for the price, you can't really complain. If you get it decent, I mean, fuck, man, it's hard to complain with that. I would argue that if a cut test would probably be, if I was going to guess, like just straight guessing, it's probably 60 HRC, and it's probably, it probably gets similar cut tests to like, probably a little bit better than like S30V, you know? And that's just a guess, but not saying like as low as S30V, but a little bit better. And you know, so what is M390? M390 is normally like, what is it, 10% more or something like that? Is it 10%? Am I right about that number? Is it 10% better than S30V? Or am I wrong about that? Maybe it's a little bit more. Maybe it's more like 12% better, 12 or 15% better. I'm not positive. But like if you notice like some of Tucson's M390, I always say this, like the worst case scenario with Tucson's, you're going to get like S30V results, maybe, you know, like S35VN results. So you're still going to get the stain resistant and everything else, but with the edge retention, it's not going to be as good as most M390. Most M390 will outcut Tucson's M390, but it's still not going to be horrible to the point to where it's like OS 10 or something like that. Quick thoughts on 3V. 3V. Your biggest worry with 3V is going to be corrosion. That's one thing. I don't really have a problem with it though, to be honest, but that's me. So I think if you just keep it dry, it depends on where you're at, because you could be in a swampy, fucked up area. For me, it's fine. I don't really worry about the corrosion. I just dry it off, keep it oiled every other month. But that's going to be your biggest threat is corrosion. The edge retention, you know, it's not like it gets insane edge retention. You know, what you getting basically like S30V edge retention, but it's super tough. That's the thing, is it's very, very tough. So it's a really tough steel. It's more for a fixed blade. Now, how does that work out for folders? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, because you can't, you know, where 3V shines is going to be with like hitting, you know, like hitting things. That's why it goes good with a fixed blade, because it can take the abuse. Now, yeah, where do you get to do that with a folder? So I don't know, like if you're really going to get, you're not going to be able to push it to its limits in a folder without really being fucking crazy with your folder, but you're still going to get the edge retention, which is still good edge retention. I'm not like knocking its edge retention or anything. It does hold a really good edge, and it sharpens pretty good too. All the 3V I've sharpened does take a pretty good fine edge. Now, some people, where the fuck did it go? Some people try to say, I don't know what they say. I was going to say, I think some people say it doesn't take a really good laid back edge, but I could be wrong about that. I don't want to speak for anybody else either, but from my experience, it takes a really good edge. I've put polished edges on it with really good results. I've put toothy edges on it with really good results. How long the bite lasts, I mean, it seems like it lasts pretty good on there. But but yeah, it's I mean, it's a good steel, but it's for fixed blades. That's where you're going to see it shine. You're not going to see it shine in a folder, really, to be honest. Crew wear is usually decent for holding. It's fine and strong. Yes, crew wear. That's why crew wear is like one of my favorite steels, is because it not only takes a ridiculous fine edge, like that's another reason why I like the 14 seat, because you can really lay back that angle and get a fine edge. And we're going to talk about that in 1 second. We're going back to crew wear. Crew wear takes a ridiculous fine edge or toothy edge. It doesn't matter which one you want, but it holds that fine edge really good. So that bite that you really want right after sharpening, it seems like it holds it really well. Now with AEBL, Tom Hosang just did a cut test with AEBL. I'm not going to say the results or anything. You guys should go watch his cut test video. But AEBL is basically where like 12C27, 14C28N came from. It originally was like AEBL, which was made for razor blades and was made to be like heat treated on a conveyor, just in mass production. And that's kind of the beauty of it, is that it can be heat treated successfully with good results in a large production batch. unlike a lot of other steels that we're talking about that require smaller batches to get quality heat treats. But AEBL heat treated to a good HRC still has really, really good results. Now, I don't like AEBL. I just don't. I've never really liked it. However, speaking about it with its fine edge, you know, it does really good with thin geometry. It's a really tough steel, first of all. It's a tough steel. And like with really thin geometry, and this is another reason why 14C28N does really good with deep hollow grinds and really thin geometry and laying back the angle, and, you know, getting that really fine edge. That's why it does so well, because, you know, it came from AEBL. Now it's like AEBL with carbides in it. Now AEBL, same thing though. It does really good with thinner geometry. You wind up increasing its performance with its geometry. So if you go and watch Tom Hosting Outdoors, go and watch his video on AEBL. You guys might like it. I don't want to say what happened, but you'd be surprised how good. Simple steel. AEBL is a simple steel. And look at the cut test results it got because of its geometry and also quality of heat treat. I got to mention that. So now when we take that and say that the same thing with 14C28N, now I also want to talk about that. So somebody left a comment saying that, because I mentioned that Civivi was saying that they were heat treating their 14C at like 61 HRC. Now I heard that when they first started using it. Now supposedly on the spreadsheet, not the spreadsheets, but their descriptions or whatever, it says like 58 to 59 or something like that. And I don't know. They could be doing it at 58, 59. Maybe. But they originally said a while back that they were doing it around 60. I think they said 60 to 61 or something like that. It's hard to remember because it was a while ago. But either way, if they're doing it like at 59, that is still good. You guys got to remember that 2-3 years ago, most companies doing 14C were running it around 56, 57 HRC. So if most companies are running it at 57 HRC and you move it up to 59, I mean, you're going to get better results with it. Now, I have no reason to doubt that they're not doing it really well either way, whether it's 59 or 61. I would love to know that it's 61. I don't know. It's not like I steel test it, or HRC test it. It's not like I do that. I can just go off of my experience with it and what I heard in the beginning. Now, whether or not they changed that and now they're doing it at 59, I don't fucking know. But I can say this, it still feels really, really good. And it still gets really good results. Now, when I did that cut test with Civivi's 14C, I think it got like 223 feet of cardboard, and it still had a really good edge. That's something that most people can't understand when you do a cut test, because it's going to be based on the person doing the test of how far they take it, right? Well, if you watch my test, it is still cutting paper fucking clean. It is still super sharp. Most people probably wouldn't even strop yet. It was still good. And I stopped the test. I stopped the test when it felt like it was slowing down. So I think that's amazing results. uh, 123 people in here. Shout out to the 123 people in here. Fighting words, cow. All right, guys. You guys are off in the weeds now. Off in the weeds. Settle down now, guys. Settle down. Don't forget, I told you guys about the 3 knives for $100. A Benchmade Griptilian with the sheep's foot, a Tonto Elementum with copper, and a Civivi shredder, all basically new in the box for $100. That's a hell of a steal. If you guys want the information, hit me up on Instagram. Freedom Fox says Spyderco has said that they're planning to upgrade their budget steels from HCR. Looking forward to see where they go. It's about damn time. I mean, Spyderco uses all kinds of steel, so I shouldn't have even said that. Let me take that back. I'm going to take that completely back because they use a lot of incredible steels, and out of all companies, they're the ones actually pushing the limits on steels. Most companies are not doing what they do with steel, so I shouldn't have said that about them. Even if they're using HCR, to me it doesn't matter. And I say that because, and what I hope they do upgrade it too, especially for their cheap budget knives, because we're in a time where it's like, man, you can get D2, you can get fucking so much better steels than HCR. So for the same price. So you should upgrade it. But they do give you the ability to get all the good steels still. So it's not like they don't offer all the good steels. Now, I will say it's about time for all the other companies that are still using HCR or the companies that recently switched to D2, because it's like, man, you are late. You're late. You're switching to D2 when everybody else is switching to, I don't know, 154 CM or something. I think it sounds good, doesn't it? So good. Love this knife. All right, so let's talk about spine thickness really quick. What do you think about the Condor knife and tool products? What's the Condor knife? I don't know what that is. What's the best way to get a picture to you, J Unit? Instagram. Instagram is the best way. That's sad. If that's true, if they're still using 3CR, that is sad. That is really sad. I mean, when I hear that, I want to say, they should be at least using 8CR. After I just shit on 8CR. Fuck, man. Yeah, shout out to Maurice. Maurice is in the house. Bought a Kukri Royal yesterday. Nice. First D2 knife. What grit edges do you recommend? I recommend 600. D2 does really well at 600 grit. And it's a medium grit. Some people would even consider 600 grit as a fine grit, but I consider it a medium grit. But yeah, 600 to 800 grit. You can go up to 1,000, but from my personal experience, after 1,000, between 1,000 and 1,200, after that, it starts dropping down and it's bite. Now, you can always lay back the angles and get a little bit more bite out of it that way. There's variables, but I just noticed 600 grit, a clean 600 grit does really, really well with D2, in my opinion. I put 600 on all my D2 knives. I've done polishes and sometimes they'll take a good polish, but their bite goes away like that. Like you start using it and it gets slick really quick on D2. Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be some examples out there that do good. Of course there is. But for the most part, I don't know what that is. The Condor knife and tool. Did I try it or something? And I just can't remember it. It's a really popular choice from Condor. How about S35? So S35 in this day and age is starting to become more of a budget steel, to be honest. Now, I'm not saying it's a budget steel. I'm saying we're able to get it for a really good budget. We're lucky to be able to get steels like that for a really good budget. Now, here's the thing. They're just like any steel, most steels. Some companies do it better than others. There's a lot of the companies, and I think we tend to look at some of these companies as like the hard use companies. They seem to run it a little softer than some other companies, and other companies seem to run a little harder. You wouldn't think some of the companies that are running it a little soft, hence CRK, would be the ones running it soft, but they do. And it just is what it is. So I personally don't like putting a fine edge on S35. I do it sometimes just because it's requested, and sometimes it does okay. But usually it same thing like D2, it kind of loses its bite very fast when you start using it. But when you put around 600 to 800 grit edge, even up to 1200 sometimes, that's a perfect edge for it. I don't like to go above 1200 with S35VN. I think it's 600, 6 to 800 is a great edge with it. And it does really well with that. And it gets nasty aggressive at that grit. So since it's so aggressive at that grit, I don't feel no reason to take it higher, because it seems like when you start going too high, it just starts losing its bite. Now, people argue that if you throw it on a ceramic plate, it can increase its bite, and maybe, but I personally just like to keep it around 6 to 800 grit. I think that's a perfect grit for it. Now, it's not, I think in this day and age with steels, it's a great mid-grade steel. Like, I don't consider it a super steel, and I don't consider it a budget steel. It's a great mid-grade steel. It's got good stain resistance. It's a tough steel, good edge retention usually. And you usually see it done fairly well. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of S35VN. When I see, and it might be because I've dealt with it so much that it's just I'm over it. And I do like it. I'm not saying it's a bad steel. It's a fucking good steel. It's just, it doesn't excite me anymore. It's not nothing I'm like excited. When I see it, it's like, oh, S35. Okay. Okay. But it's not like I'm like, yeah, fucking S35. Yes. I actually get more excited over 14C. It's crazy. S35 is the steel all other steels should be compared to these days. It's a good average steel. Right. It's a good average steel. Exactly. There's nothing exceptional about it, but there's nothing bad about it either. It's a fucking good quality steel. And to be honest, in most cases, it's an exceptional steel too, because we're just so lucky and we have so many steels to compare things to. Most people should be very happy with S35VN. It's a great steel. It's just we're getting so many different steels nowadays that we have the ability to be picky, right? My first experience with S30V was sharpening a knife for my boss. I sharpened on that thing for like 3 hours, and it was still like a butter knife. So, all right, Jeremy, I personally like S30V more than S35VN, and the reason why is because I think it has better edge retention, but that's not the reason why. The reason why I like it more is because it takes a better fine edge than S35VN. Not saying I have to have a fine edge. It's not like I want to sharpen all my knives to a fine edge. I'm not saying that at all. It's just if I want to do it. And even with other edges, I just find that it has more bite. That's it. I find that not a lot, with some cases of S35VN, they just don't have a lot of bite. When S30V, I always find that it always has a lot of bite. Now, not being able to sharpen it, I would say use diamonds. Always use diamonds. And you got to be able to hold your angle. If you use diamonds, especially at a low grit, you start with a low grit. Never start with a high grit or a medium grit. Start with a low, coarse grit so that you can create your edge bevel. That's the foundation of sharpening a knife is the reprofiling, is the getting your edge bevel set. If you can get a good edge bevel set on both sides, you're going to be able to get a very sharp edge. Because off that first stone, you don't even need any other stones. Throw all the other stones in the garbage. That first stone, you will have a perfectly fine edge, a very, very sharp edge that'll do anything you need. It'll shave hair. It'll go through paper cleanly. It'll be a perfect edge. Diamonds are for edges. Yeah. Yeah. Diamonds. That'll shut her up. What's up, Bees Blades? Shout out to Bees Blades. You guys need to go over there and sub to his channel as well. I'm wanting to mingle in more average steels in the next few months. These last few years, if it wasn't 20 CV or off the wall tool steel, I refuse to buy it. I think we all get in that little thing. I like to try everything, man. I when I was really getting into steel, I just got into like everything, every little thing, you know, even especially if it sounded cool, you know, like you could just have some weird numbers, and I was like, ooh, it could have been junk, but just because it had weird numbers in it, you know, I wanted it. How could I How could I forget Pakistani Damascus? Yeah, exactly. Nobody can forget that stuff, especially if you try to sharpen it. Talk about a nightmare. I go in groups almost when buying knives. I get stuff in groups almost always. S45VN. I don't think this is going to be popular if I talk about it. I don't know. I haven't experienced it enough to really give my honest opinion on it. I don't know. I don't think it's anything great. I don't know. I think it's S35VN. I don't. Okay, so when I was sharpening it, I did notice it did take a better edge than S35VN. So I'll give it that. I'll give it that hands down. But like I said, I've only dealt with it a few times, so I can't speak from it from experience. I can only speak from it from my little tiny bit of experience. And the little tiny bit of experience I had with it, it did take a better edge than S30. At least it's, you know, those examples I had took a better edge than most S35VN that I sharpen. So I think that that's a good thing. Would I say it didn't, like the one time it was COARSE knives, and I didn't feel like it was anything to be like to jump out of my chair about. So, and a lot of times with some steels, not all. Like when I sharpen crew wear, man, I fucking get excited. When I sharpen K390, I get fucking excited, man. Then I just come out nasty sharp. S90V, same thing. But S45 didn't seem to do that for me. But like I said, I have very limited experience with it. So I hate to downplay it like that, because then watch, I'm going to get one tomorrow and fucking love it. I'm not saying it's bad either. I'm not saying it's bad. So please don't take it that way. I don't know enough about it. The little bit that I've tried, it was good. You know, like I said, it seemed like it was better than S35. I just don't know how much better. It took a better fine edge than S35, but does that mean it's better than S35? No. You know, it just means it takes a finer edge. What is your deal back there? You're making all this damn noise. Everybody's like saying, what is wrong with her? I don't know. You're saying all kinds of weird shit. Is that what that was? It sounded like you barked. What was that show last night? What was that show or that movie? Fucking worst movie ever. Ever. Worst movie ever. Come on. These guys got to know now. No, they want to know. Oh, yeah. Viacom or something? What was it? What? It was the dumbest movie ever. Ever. It was a waste of my fucking life is what it was. Vivarium. Don't watch it, guys. Don't watch it. You will ruin an hour and 20 minutes of your life. It's the most boring fucking movie. D-Bass, thank you for the 10 bones, man. Jared, I'm buying a knife that is available in 20 CV and CTS XHP. Which would you choose and why? I already own several 20 CV blades, so I'm leaning towards XHP. Yeah, get XHP. I love XHP, to be honest. I like 20 CV too, but I think you'll probably have a better chance. I wish I knew the company. What's the company? Because I would say you have probably a better chance of the XHP coming out better. So XHP is it's like a stainless D2. right? It's very similar to D2, except for stainless. However, to me, I think it's far better in many ways because of the stainless. I don't know what else it does to it, like, science wise, but it seems like it holds a really good edge. It takes a ridiculously sharp edge. It's just a good all around steel. I really like XHP. I got a few knives in XHP, and I've always been impressed with its edge retention, which I know sounds weird because it's not like it's supposed to be like just some like crazy edge retention steel. But man, maybe it's just the stuff I do for EDC, but damn it seems like it holds an edge for a really long time. Even like a medium grit edge, like you can put like a 400 grit edge on it, 4-6, just a medium grit edge, and man, it holds it forever. Is Kara threatening the children of the internet? Something like that. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, that movie though, so dumb, man. It's so dumb. I thought it was good in the beginning because of how it was playing out at first, because it was kind of creepy. But then as you get into it, man, you want it to end. And finally, when it gets to the good shit, it is the end. So bad. XHP is a steel I need yet. There you go. For me personally, give me old school high carbon steel. Everyone else can have their super steels. Bang. I like all steels. All steels. So when I start talking about certain steels, saying like, oh, I like this steel better, blah, blah, don't ever take it as like, I hate a steel, because I like all steels. Anything above HCR, I like. And even HCR is fine for the right price. Like, don't pay over $25 for it. If it's 25 bucks and less, HCR is just fine. And because the thing is that you can literally have M390. Just because it says M390 doesn't mean it's any better than HCR. In many cases, it's been proven that M390 can be just as bad as HCR. It's all about the heat treat. It has nothing to do with the number of the steel. And we have to get off of that, where we think just because it says it's this steel that, oh, that's what I'm going to get. It's not the way it is. It's all about the heat treat. There's lots of variables. Lots of variables. Seems logical, says Vivarium sounds like the name of an STD medicine. Yes, it does. That's what it felt like after watching too. To me, oh yeah, I already read that. You haven't seen that gods must be crazy. God must be crazy, or gods must be crazy. I haven't seen that one. No, I don't even know what that one is. Spyderco and Tactile both do great XHP. Yes, Spyderco does do good XHP. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I've got 3 or 4 knives in XHP from Spyderco. Love them all. Love them all. Really good job. And which medicine is that? Bang. G-Ball. And here, I don't have any knives with XHPC. You're missing out, man. Got to get some XHP in your life. A lot of custom makers like to use XHP. XHP is a pretty popular custom knife steel. Gillian, he loves XHP. A lot of custom knife makers like XHP. It's supposed to be pretty easy to heat treat and easy to grind. I think that's one reason why they really like to use it. Well, also it takes a really good finish. So like the type of satin or type of stonewash finish it takes, I haven't done it, so I'm just saying what I've heard. Is it does take a really good satin. It takes a really good polished stonewash, good stonewash. And it's supposed to be very easy to work with. And so that's one reason why they like to use it. Now, the benefits, or how can I put this? The quality of steel you get out of a steel that works really easy is sometimes why a lot of companies will want to work with it or want to use it, because they feel that gives good quality to the customer while being easy for them to work with. Kershaw's 420HC on their links are the dilly. I like 420HC, especially if it's a bossy treat. 440C is really good too. I like 440C. 440C, we have gotten away from 440C so much and forgotten how good quality 440C is. 440C is amazing steel. It's such a good steel. And it's just, you know, when you have 100 steels and 440C's been out for so long, it's easy to forget how fucking amazing a simple steel like that can be, which is the beauty of that steel. You can sharpen that steel in the field. It has great corrosion resistance. It's just a great steel. There's really nothing bad about it. Does it get the best edge retention? No, but you can easily tune it up. Like it's hyper responsive to a strop, so you can tune it back up multiple times before you'll need to sharpen it. While other steels, you'd probably have to sharpen. You know, yeah, their edge retention will last a lot longer. You know what I mean? It's a great steel though. My ZDP 189 saying my slayback edge seems over refined with a mirror. Had Mike Emler sharpen it, then had Scott Gunn resharpen it, both same results. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I want to say that maybe, and this is just theory in my head, maybe it's, you know, isn't that like 64 HRC or something? Maybe, because usually when you get that hard of HRC, usually you can really get a good fine edge. Usually. Now, if you're not, it's possible, maybe, and this is just a theory, right? Maybe it's too hard and it just doesn't have the ability to get that really fine edge without it breaking off, basically. And I'm talking about on a microscopic level. I'm not saying you'll see your edge break off. I'm saying on a microscopic level, that very, very, very tip of the apex maybe just like chips off, and now you just have the apex, and maybe it's just not as fine as it would be. I don't know. It's hard to say without me actually sharpening it. Maybe it's just so hard. I mean, if it was me sharpening it, I know Mike Emler, I don't know what he used to sharpen it. And I don't know what Scott Gunn used. I have no idea. Me personally, I would use venev. I would use diamonds. I would, no matter what, I'd use diamonds. We're talking ZDP 189 and like 64 HRC. I would use diamonds. I'd probably do 17 degrees per side. And I probably wouldn't do too much time on the strop, to be honest. I'd probably come off the stone with my polish and just knock the burr off. That's probably how I would personally do it, but that doesn't mean to be any different, though. The Gods Must Be Crazy is an awesome movie. But yeah, if you have two people with the same results, you know, it's, and let me just say this too. It is possible that it's burnt and it just needs another edge or two on it. You know, how many times have we seen steel edge retention go up after 3-4 edges, right? You know, depending on how much steel they remove during their sharpening, blah 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 blah, right? So that's why a lot of times when I first get a knife, on my own, not on somebody else's, but on my own, I like to remove a decent amount on that first edge just so I can get into good steel. Now, there's sometimes when I don't have to. You know, like when I did the Cogent, I didn't remove that much steel because it's 14C and I didn't think, you know, I needed to. But on a lot of times on certain steels, I like to get rid of some steel, you know, with that first edge. Get right into some good steel. Both my Recentis are XHP. They're great. Yeah, exactly. I love XHP. I love it. I think it's such a good steel. And it's kind of weird. We don't really see it. I mean, besides custom makers, but Spyderco, who else? Tactile Turn, who else? Like, I can't think of anybody else that's using it. you know, Gillian, like I said, the custom makers. That's it. Custom makers, Spyderco, Tactile Turn. Who else? Crickets. I wish we seen it more, to be honest. I wish we did. I'd love to see some XHP. And it's kind of weird. We're always jumping for, I don't know about the best, but we're always like jumping ahead for like what's the best? What's the best? What's the best? You know, oh, 20 CV, S90V. It's like, let's get some like really good shit and just perfect that heat treat on it. Like XHP. Give me XHP with a phenomenal heat treat. You know, give me like 14C and let me see what it does at 62 HRC, like a proven 62 HRC. Yeah, I don't know. It might be shit, but you know, I don't know. I'm just thinking like I'd love to see certain steels just refined even better instead of like jumping to 20 CV, which I'm not saying anything bad about 20 CV. I'm just saying I'd love to see them really work on perfecting a heat treat. I see there's a donation here. I'm trying to find it though. I'll get back to some of your guys' comments. Damn, maybe not. Man, that's weird. There it is. Everyday EDC. I missed the beginning of this. Start over. Thanks, bud. Thank you for the donation. How's the quality tonight, guys? Oh, it's past 9:14. All right, we got story time. I hope they do too. Okay. Fucking knife modders had to come in here and prove me wrong. Okay, Cold Steel uses it. Well, no, they don't actually. They were using it. They're using S35 now. So, man, why did they ever stop? I don't know anybody that was ever bitching at them. Like, why don't you just use S35? Why are you using XHP? I don't know. I wish we'd see more companies just come out. Yeah, they did use it, right? I wish some companies would come out with more of the steels that we don't see too much and really work on the heat treating process. Like if I heard that, and we'll get into story time. I just want to rant really quick. I would love to hear a company, any company, I don't give a shit the company, as long as it was a reputable company, come out and say that we took blank steel and we worked on it the last 3 months and we have perfected the heat treat process on it. And we are very confident in this steel because of what we did to it. Spanky, got a couple packages from you and Lefty today. Winnings from the giveaway. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, and Kevin. Thank you, man. I appreciate all your support and everything, Spanky. But yeah, awesome, man. I'm glad it made it there safe and sound. And thank you for the donation, man. Thank you for the 5 bones. Stopped due to availability. Is that why? I mean, custom. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the steel buying business. Oh, I mean, I guess I am, but you know what I mean. I don't buy it raw, so I can't speak for how available it is. But I mean, a lot of custom makers use it, but maybe it's not available in big batches, and that's the problem. But I would imagine if there was companies out there trying to get it, it would be more available, right? I think that's actually a problem right now Tucson's having with 14C. Now, I can't prove that, but it seems that their knives that are supposed to be in 14C have came out in D2 lately. So the only thing I can think of is that they ran out and they're having problems getting 14C. I'd love to see some more Van X. I want to make sure that it's from a reputable company. I don't have a lot of confidence in just any company using it, but I'd still like to see it. I mean, I'd still test it. SOG uses it. XHP, SOG uses it. Do they? Little tougher to sharpen than S35. Maybe because it's only semi-stainless. But I mean, we use non-stainless steels all the time. I believe the company you're referring to is Rockstead. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah, but you know what I meant, Sarge. You smart ass. Of course, Rockstead does that. Yes, Rockstead found a steel and they perfected it. Yes, yes, they did, and that's why you pay for it, right? But I guess I'm speaking more into affordable production knives, you know. But yeah, you smart ass. I would like to see Civivi start using XHP in their Damascus blades. I don't know anything about XHP Damascus. I have no idea about that stuff. I know the stuff that they are using right now in their Damascus is good because it's a powdered 9CR and it's it's a powdered form Damascus, which means it's really good. Well, that doesn't mean it's really good, but it is really good though. They do a good job with it. Being a powdered form Damascus, they make it like kind of like Damasteel, where it's made in one billet of steel rather than melting steels together to form a steel. It's a powdered form, so it's one billet of steel when it's done, which is going to increase the toughness. It's going to increase the edge retention. Now that's a 9CR. I think it's 9CR 440C. I think that's what it is basically. Um, but I'm not positive on that second steel. I know this other company, that's what they're using, and they said they were using the same thing as Civivi's. Jared, maybe 2 cents switch back to D2 because all of us were complaining about the satin grinds. I don't think so because they have no problem stonewashing it. And I got some with stonewash. So why would you switch to, you know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. Um, I don't think they would do it for that because I noticed even on some of their stonewashed blades, on some of there's a couple knives that just recently came out, and they came out in D2, not 14C. And even knives that were already 14C, the next batch that was coming out was in D2. I honestly think that they just couldn't find any. What is a Rockstead? Good question. What is a good, usable, trustworthy Damascus? Damasteel. Damasteel or like I said, Civivi's Damascus is good. It is really good. I've sharpened a bunch of it. It sharpens up really good. I've used it a lot. It doesn't have some of the issues that you find with regular Damascus. And I mean a non-powdered Damascus. You don't see the issues. The edge retention is really good. It's a good steel. But Damasteel is done with RWL 34, so it's everybody knows. I think I think Damasteel is probably the best you're going to get when it comes to Damascus. Some people would argue like Chad Nichols Damascus and blah blah blah, but I think not any form, but a good powdered form Damascus where it is made in one solid brick of steel, where it's not multiple layers of steels just oozed together. It's actually one brick of steel. I think that's that's where we get the good results from it. Let's go, Brandon. Fuck Fauci ouchie. Agreed. Paul Boss Heat Treat is definitely a master at doing heat treats. Wish he would work for every steel out there instead of just working with Buck. Yeah. Yeah, but think about how much they do. They do a lot. Yeah, for sure. Damasteel is probably the best. Tri-State. I've used my Civivis without Damascus without issues. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with it. But you know what though? Civivi seems to do a good job just with their steel, period. I can't speak for 2-3 years ago, but they do a good job with it now. Scuba Sam is Scuba Steve's father. Well, good to know. Good to know. I was wondering that last night. Where were you last night, Maurice? I was sitting around wondering You know, who the fuck is Scuba Steve's dad? That's what I was wondering all night. All night. I'm glad I'll be able to sleep tonight now. Thank you for the donation, Maurice. Civivi's steel, even their D2 seems to be done pretty good. Like I've the past year, maybe even longer, I've always gotten really good results with Civivi shit. Civivi seems to be doing a really good job with this shit. I can't speak anything bad about Civivi's heat treats. A San Mai style Damascus is going to be ideal for performance. Well, yeah, especially when we're talking about like we were saying, like the ZDP 189 heat treated at 64 HRC. Yeah, but for like regular Damascuses, a powdered Damascus is going to be the best way to go. But yeah, a jacket Damascus, yeah, where you got like a good core of some really good steel, of whatever blank good steel. Logical's out of here. Merry Christmas. See you later, bud. Thanks for joining as always. We're about to get to story time. I missed it. Man, it says, did Civivi do a JG10 Damascus in a button lock design? Yes. They did the Cogent in the 14C. And they got they have a jade one. And I don't, you know what? I don't know if they did Damascus. I think they did. I know they did micarta in Damascus. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know about, like, I can't speak for it early on, but their D2 now seems to be doing pretty good. And I seen one of his cut tests with Civivi stuff, and it wasn't bad. It didn't do bad. But like I said, I can't speak for, he's been doing tests for a while. I know, like with my knives, with Civivi's D2, got no issues with it. None at all. None at all. Bam! Neevesknives. Any word on the Deathloop Nightshade was supposed to come? I know, man. I don't. Fuck if I know, man. I'm gonna talk to him, and I'll get back to you guys on the next live, because what they said was that it was going to come out in December because they had problems with the clip. They redid the clip to titanium, and it was Kaiser's fault, and yada yada yada. I'm starting to worry now, man, because it's like, it's so weird that it was supposed to be November, but that's how it happens. So that's how it happens. You know, with every knife company, especially when we're talking about prototypes and getting a knife out there, sometimes they'll say, you know, May, and next thing you know, it's December. Right? That's just how it goes sometimes. They said November, then they said December. So in reality, we're really not that far off. We're still in December. So, but I don't know. I hope so. You're falling asleep? Damn, we must be boring. All right. Well, we're going to get to story time. Speaking of Christmas, are we live Saturday? What day does Christmas start? Or what day is Christmas Eve? Hey, babe. She's on our game. Today's the 22nd, 23rd. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. What is it? Saturday's the 25th? Or no, wait. That's the 26th, ain't it? Wait, Wednesday? Today's a Wednesday, the 22nd, 23rd. Okay, so yeah, I don't think we'll be live this Saturday. We'll see, but I don't think so though. Okay, so story time. Story time really quick. Hopefully I see you Breeze on Christmas Eve. So, this story goes back to when I was a kid or younger, teenager. And my friend was a lot older than me. He was 21. He was from Brooklyn. This dude from Brooklyn. And we went out to jump this railroad track that was like way out in the sticks, like way the fuck out in the sticks, very far out in the sticks. But this thing, it was a railroad track that was like on top of a hill like this. So when you're coming over it, when you hit it, you get air in your car. Like you fucking fly. And damn it, my damn screen. So the car he had didn't have any plates. So we had to steal. Come on, you damn camera. Hang on one second, guys. I don't know why my camera suddenly got messed up. Sometimes this works if I get really close to it and don't move. Man, I hate... There we go. Now you gotta focus on me. Come on. It's like it's fighting to get it. Sorry, guys. Let me just move this thing a little closer. All right. Anyway, so his car didn't have any plates, so we had to. Well, I didn't, but he had to steal some plates off of this other car. So, because we wanted to go hit this jump with this car. And Merry Christmas, hey man. Don't look into the cam, Jared. You're scaring me. So it was just like this little Honda, like this little hatchback Honda, piece of shit. And so we stole the plates off the other car. He did, put the plates on this car, and now we're out cruising. All right, we're out cruising, and we're heading out to this jump. And it's like I said, out in the middle of nowhere. And we're all the way out there, and this track, like you can, like all the signs are telling you slow down, danger, because when you go over this thing on the other side of this track, it's like the road, it goes up, then once you get to this road, it's like it just goes straight down. So if you're going not even that fast over it, you're going to get a little air. It's like that. It's pretty crazy. So we start flying like idiots. And we get to this, get up the ramp to the jump to the railroad track and hit it, and we fucking take off. I mean, I don't even know how much air we got. We got a lot. We came down so hard that it bottomed out. The car just bam bottomed out, and it ripped the like the oil plug or something. It basically fucked up the engine. Like it just ripped out the oil plug, and there's oil everywhere. And now we're broke down on the side of the road. And like, this is just one thing after another going bad. So now we're on the side of the road, but we're out in the middle of nowhere. I'm sorry about this blurriness, guys. It just will not fucking clear up. Shit, it wants to look right at my knife right now. Come on, you son of a bitch. Maybe if I just move this thing a little closer or something. I don't even think I can get it any closer. Come on, you piece of shit. It'll look right at my hand right now, but it won't go. Oh, did it go? Good enough. Yes. Okay. I feel better, man. I can't handle being blurry. I don't like being blurry, guys. So that's the first thing that happened. Now we're on the side of the road. But remember, we're in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's passing us. Nobody. And every once in a while, like every 20 minutes, a car would like come by. Nobody's stopping for us. We're two dudes. Like nobody's stopping for us. Then finally a guy stops. And he's like, "You guys need some help?" And we're like, "Oh yeah." And he's like, "Oh no, wait. I gotta finish the story." So before that, we wanted to get the car out of the road. On the side of the road, it's two ditches. And we decided to turn it around so it wasn't facing on-road traffic or something, or oncoming traffic or something like that. I don't know why. But anyway, so I'm pushing, he's steering. We get it onto the side of the road, and it goes too far on the side of the road and goes down into the ditch. So now we got a car down in the ditch, and it's like all stuck like this. And so it looks like we went off the side of the road. That's what it looks like. But it's going the wrong way, because now it's not as if we just jumped that railroad track. It looks like we're going towards the railroad track. So it would make sense if we went over the railroad track, right? That we crashed or whatever. But not that we're going towards it. So it's like, how the hell did it get in the ditch? Well, I'm like 14, something like that, and my buddy's 21. And then a guy comes by. A guy comes by and he's like, "You guys need some help?" We're like, "Oh yes, thank God." He's like, "I'll go get a rope or a chain or whatever, and we'll drag you guys out of here." We're like, "Oh, thank God, man, thank you." So he takes off. Then here comes fucking Mr. Cop. Mr. Cop pulls up, and he gets out, and he's like, "What the hell's going on?" And we kind of explained, and our story's so unbelievable. Like, it looks like we just crashed. It's kind of hard to explain to him. We went over the railroad track, and we got air. We, and bottomed out, ripped out the bottom of the car. Then we went to turn it around, and we pushed it down into a ditch. It's kind of hard to tell the guy that, because he's not believing us. He's just looking at us like, "You guys drunk? Why'd you guys go off the side of the road like this? Like, you guys didn't even get to the track." And, because we turned the car around. So now it looks like we're almost to the track. And he's not believing anything we're saying. So he wants to check the plates now. Now he's, checking the plates. Well, now it comes back fucking not the same, not the car. And now he thinks it's a stolen car. So now he's extra pissed. And my buddy says, "Listen, he's like, that's the plates to my brother's car." He's like, "I just took it off my brother's car." He's like, "Oh, so you stole it." And he's like, "No, no, no. He knows. He's like, either you stole this car or you stole the plates off of another car." Because I don't even think it was his car. I think it was his brother's car, and he stole the plates off of his car or his cousin's car or something like that. Either way, the car was technically stolen, and the plates were technically stolen too. But the cop was all sorts of pissed off, but he couldn't find anything on the stolen car. So he couldn't just like figure out that it was a stolen car. He looked it up. It didn't come back stolen. So he basically said, "Well, I'm going to impound this car until I find out what the hell's going on." And we're like, fuck. Now we don't even have a car, right? And he's towing it. So now you got to pay for a tow and everything else. And we're out in the middle of nowhere. Well, he's like, "Listen," because he didn't have anything on us. So he was basically like, "I'm going to let you guys go." And we're like, "Well, we're out in the middle of nowhere. Like, how are we supposed to get back?" And he's like, "I'll tell you what, I'll bring you guys to the next gas station." Okay. So we take the ride to the gas station. We have like $1 in our pockets, like just praying that someone's going to answer a phone. Of course, nobody's not going to answer the phone. And then, paid phones, back then. But the thing is that he took us farther than we already were. So we're already so far away. And now we're like extra far. Like it's an extra, like, I don't know, 15 minutes or 10 minutes or something. Now we got to walk back from there. Like, it would have been so much better to just start where we were and start walking, even though that's so far away. So we're like, fuck it. We ain't got no choice. Like, nobody's coming to get us. Nobody's saving us. And, that's been a big part of reality my whole life. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Fucking do something. So we're like, fuck it. Let's start walking. So we start walking, and we're walking for hours and hours. Oh, I forgot to mention that guy that was going to get the rope did come back while the cop was there. He actually did pull it out for the cop to fucking tow it. So the guy wasn't trying to be a dick or anything. He was there to help us, but by the time he came back, the cop was already there and he couldn't help us. Anyways, so we're walking for like, I don't even know, 6 hours, 8 hours or something. We're out in the middle of nowhere, passing power plants and shit. And we know, like, when we see this power plant that we're still like very far away. We finally see this power plant, and it's just like, this is a straight shot now. It's a straight shot all the way to town, which is hours on foot. Finally, it's like, I don't know, 2 in the morning or something, right? It was daylight when we started. It's like 2 in the morning. The cop, the same fucking cop, comes pulling up and rolls down his window and says, "You guys are still walking?" It's like, "Yeah, you asshole. You didn't give us a ride home." He's like, "Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a ride to the county line. Not home. No, not home. To the county line. The county line's like another 10-minute walk. But we're like, fuck it, might as well at this point. By that time, you're so desperate, you're so thirsty, you're so everything that it's like, what do I got to lose, right? Get in this cop's car again, right? You could wind up going to jail, because that's how I always feel like if I get into a cop's car. I'll normally die before I want to get in their cars. Anyways, because I've had it so many times where they trick you into getting in their car. Anyways, so he brings us to the county line and drops us off. He won't cross the county line. He just refuses to drop us off at home. It's like it's 5 more minutes, not even like 3 minutes drive from the county line. But walking, that's a lot, So we had to finish walking, and by the time I got home, it was like 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning, and my mom's like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, I walked in and I remember her face. Like, she's like, "Where the hell have you been?" I don't remember at this time if I was on probation yet or not, but I just looked at her like I was so mad. I was so mad. She didn't even try. She's just like, "You okay?" Because she knew when she seen my face, like, shit just went down. Like, it's been a long night, Mom. Mom, it's been a fucking long night. I'm only like 14 years old though, but yeah, man, that was one hell of a walk, man. I swear to God, we were walking for, I couldn't even tell you how many hours. I don't even know. But it was way down south of Chicago, like way south. So like way out in the middle of nowhere. But that's what Southern Illinois is. Southern Illinois is all cornfields. It's all flatlands and cornfields. That's all it is. Once you get past Chicago, from Chicago to Missouri, it's all cornfields. That's all you see is cornfield after cornfield after cornfield after cornfield. No, that was Grundy County. Yeah, because that was down south. No, it was past Cook County, it's down south. So it's like by Kankakee. That's where it was. By Kankakee. I think it's Grundy County. Good old Chicago. Yeah, Lake County's where I'm at now. I've been stuck walking for 9 hours in the desert. Drank 12 beers the night before, so I was dehydrated. I thought about drinking piss. Guy picked us up and drove us the 3 hours to the next town. You got lucky. You got lucky. I'm around Mount Vernon. Nice. Mount Vernon. Wakanda. Chicago's in Wakanda. I-57 South. When I was a kid, late at night, me and my neighbors would shoot at cars hubcaps with BB guns as they drove down the road. Grabbed wrong gun one time and shot out a window with a 22. Cops with a searchlight. Me and Breeze did that when we were kids with paintball guns one time. We were in the weeds and we were waiting for a car to come by. And we're like in the woods, like creaked in a bush, just waiting, for a car to go by, just waiting. And it's like the next car that goes by, we're lighting their ass up. Fucking cop car. His ass got lit up, and then you heard him just slam on them brakes. We took off running. You weren't catching us, man. We were gone. I walked 17 miles when I was 15 for some tail. Worth every bit of it. Yep. That makes sense, though. That makes sense. I'm just across the Ohio River from Illinois. That is southern Illinois. We ran through the woods like hell. Didn't do it again for at least a month. Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to run around shooting all kinds of shit too, man. Everything. Fucking cars and headlights and all kinds of shit. And a lot of them were like abandoned and stuff, you know, just to fucking do it. I used to do a lot of hunting and stuff when I was a kid. I have a mass drop gent I've had for years, and every other knife I bought is worse than it. I want to upgrade to something nicer, maybe a brown LHCX or what? I mean, a brown knife is a big jump from a mass drop gent. I mean, if you like the mass drop gent, you can always go with another Wiha knife, you know. But yeah, I mean, obviously a brown is going to be a massive jump. Now, a lot of times price, I mean, no, I can't say that. Usually, in a lot of cases, price is a factor. You know, like if you go up in money, you're going to go up in quality, but not always. There's knives I have that are under $100 that are better quality than some knives that are over $200. It does depend on the brand. That's why you want to find the brands that give you the good quality for the money. You're right, little yellow in the center and not as nice a focus as my lights. Huh. Don't know what that means. This has minerals. I wouldn't know. But I'm sure if I was in the desert and I was really desperate, take a sock and some sand if I could find some sort of container. I mean, man, you'd be surprised what you'll do to survive. I know I've been in a lot of times where I fought to survive, and you'll do just about anything. Did you mention when that titanium Baglighter mini will be available? Yes, January. January is when the sheepdog, the titanium sheepdog non-flipper, and the Baglighter frag should be available. Probably around the end of January, I imagine. They're working on them now, so I'm guessing. He said that they should ship in January. So a lot of times that means that they'll ship and they'll end up in February, but it just depends on when they ship. But you got to figure when they ship, it'll take 2 to 3 weeks to get here. So this didn't take long at all. Like, I swear I got these in like 2 weeks. So I don't know how they got here this quick, but they did. They got here really quick because he just told me like 2 weeks ago that he was going to send them. So, but you got to think at least 2 weeks. Oh, the ion. Many things got lit up with paintballs. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. Lots of people, lots of cars, lots of everything. Everything. You're better off not drinking it. Yeah, but I think that goes for if it's not filtered. But if you can filter it, if you can get some charcoal, some sand, and things like that, and you can filter it, I think it'd be okay for life or death. Not saying I'm going to do it or I plan on doing it. I'm talking about death, right? You know, when you're on the verge of death, it's amazing what you'll do to survive. People always talk about I think it's hilarious when I hear somebody say something they would never do. I always think about how desperate they've never been. You know, because you'd be surprised what you'll do when you're fucking desperate. Like, you know, morals and everything go right out the window when we're talking about death. When you're talking about dying, you know, or the threat of losing your life, even if we're talking about even like being locked up, anything like that, you'd be surprised what you do. Depends on the mindset. Just don't gag and throw it up. Right. That's true. That's true. Make it even worse. Oh, man. Most southern tip of Illinois. Cairo. I don't think I've ever been to Cairo. Anna, Illinois. Is Kaiser purposely limiting production on the Cormorant? It's almost easier to find a Malibu. No, what did it? They just made it. You got to think they had at the same time when they were doing the Cormorant. We'll talk about the Cormorant really quick before we get out of here. So at the same time when they started doing the Cormorant, they were also doing knives, which they had 4 knives come out. They were doing all their other knives, right? And trying to come out with new knives. So they're doing a lot right now. They really are. They're doing quite a bit. So it's just limited resources, limited tools, limited machinery, limited people. So they're doing their best to keep up and everything, because you got to think at the same time they got to keep up with what they already have. Like the things they recently dropped. Now, that being said, they're you know, they did release them and they did come out. It's just they sold out quick. They had them, they dropped, every place got them, and every place sold out. That's it. But they'll be back soon. I seen a titanium one. A titanium one. Now that was the shit. I would love to get my hands on that one. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of this. And this is kind of one of the subjects I want to talk about really quick. It's weird how I like the knife. Don't get me wrong. I love the knife. The knife is great. But I think it's ugly as fuck. I think it's so ugly. Not the shape. I love the blade shape. And you know, the same guy who did the chef knife I was talking about is the same guy who designed this. Great knife designer. This thing is designed to be good in multiple grips. You know, I listened to him explain this, like it's supposed to be good in all these different grips. Like that's the beauty of this knife, is it's multiple grips, like where you can use it in all different grips, but which is amazing. I like it. I like the shape. I like the design, but I hate these damn white and black G10 scales. These lines, this is so ugly. Why did they go from X's to lines? I don't get it. It looks like a toy to me, and I don't like that. I like my knives to look like a tool, not a toy. It looks like something that literally you could get it like Dollar General for a kid. I don't like that. Now, I'm not saying that's what it is. It's solid. It's a really good knife. No blade rock, no blade play. It's super solid, super fidgety, super snappy, good detent. Great knife. But damn it, does it look ugly? If it was in my Carta, like the White Mountain Knives exclusive ones, that looks really good. That looks good. I'd love to see it in XL too. Don't get me wrong, it's a decent size. It's not a bad size. What is it? 3.25-inch blade, I think. No, it's only a 3-inch blade. It's only a 3-inch blade, so it's not a big knife. I wish it was like a 3.5-inch blade. That'd be awesome. The Cormorant is ugly, but the micarta is so much better, unless you dye it like these blades. The Cormorant over the smock, just because I'm starting to not like his way of doing business. Really? Ooh, we got beef. We got beef. All right. Hey, I don't blame you, man. Joliet's in here, huh? Been Joliet a lot, like a lot. My mom lives down by Joliet. What's up, Charles? Stripes make you look. How much acid did you take? I don't like the lines, man. I don't like the white and black. I think that looks ugly. I think, you know what would have been really nice on this? Oh my God. I don't know why I didn't think about this. The Rapids, the Kaiser Rapids. Do I have it right here? I must have it put up. The Kaiser Rapids, the way they did the G10 with the micarta in the middle. So like the white on this would be G10 and the black would be micarta. That would have been fire. But I just don't like the white and black. Stasa 23, always when we're about to leave, he does it on purpose. I'm just joking. What's up, Stasa? Stasa's in the house. You guys better be subbed to Stasa. I see there's 98 people in here. I know at least one of you guys are not subbed to Stasa. Get over there and sub to his channel. And everybody else I've shouted out. Joliet, about an hour south of Chicago. Yes, yes. About an hour south of Chicago. It's a shithole. That's what Joliet is. Oh, man. It's all right, though. How did anyone feel about Birdshot's video comparing it to the Cogent as a substitute? I don't know. I don't think they're anything alike, to be honest. The Cogent is very different. It sounds cooler, too. This one, while it has more deployments, the action isn't as good, in my opinion. Now, I love that it has the reverse flicking hole, and it does have a cool sound to it. I'm not saying it doesn't. It still has a cool sound. But the leverage you get on this flipper tab is so nice. So nice. This one, it's not as good. But it's still, I mean, I don't mean like the knife isn't as good. I just mean that flipper action. Got one on the way. There you go. Not the best place to be, hence why we're all drinking piss. Right. Oh, man. I wouldn't carry the Cormorant even if it was free. Ugly as fuck. It is ugly. It is ugly. And I don't get it. Like, this is the one thing I disagree with on the designer of this because, like I said, he's a good dude. I like him. He's a great dude. Me and him talk all the time. He knew everybody thought this was ugly when it had X's on it. It had X's and everybody was like, oh, the white and G10, the X's, blah, blah, blah. What made you think this was going to be different? Just line, like, I don't see how that's an upgrade. It didn't do anything better for me. You just change one ugly to another type of ugly. Like, that's all I see. I don't like the look of it. I do not. I think it's so, I think it looks like a toy. It does. Now, I don't know about dyeing it. Maybe dyeing it all black would help, but not much. Just micarta. Make it micarta or just one solid piece of G10 or something like that. I'd love to see it bigger. Hopefully, I'll bet you they'll do a bigger one. Decatur is where the Bears got their start. Not in Chi-Town. There's this song I played. Well, I didn't play it, but it was on Instagram. Speaking of Illinois, since we're talking all Illinois, there was this song, and well, I was doing some knife stuff, right? But you got the choice on the reels to use some music, and I used this song from King Von. He's just a rapper, but he's a rapper from Chicago, and he got killed last year. But in this song, he talks about this bitch from Kankakee, and that's why I used it, just because, you know, my mom lives down there and shit, and I guess that didn't sound good. But the point is that because he's from Chicago and everything, and he's talking about areas from the air, you know, places from the area. Nagy has to go. Nagy has to go. Did they make it micarta? Don is calling it the gingerbread cormorant. That's the White Mountain Knives exclusive that's in micarta. That's the only micarta version I know of. I just checked a knife. I was asked What? What? All right. Oh my God, I just checked the knife I was asked to sharpen. It's 3CR13. Oh no. Well, at least you know it'll be easy to sharpen. At least it's not just stainless, because if it was just stainless, then you might have a hard time sharpening it. Man, I got this edge all tore up. If I could show you this edge right now, oh man, it's all fucked up. I need to sharpen both of these. Where's the other one? Both of them are wrecked. This one's not as bad, but the tip is chipped off. Not that this steel's chippy or anything, but damn it, I got a lot of chips in both of them. I drive over that Joliet I-80 bridge, and I'm always afraid it's going to collapse. I always know when I see that bridge, I'm 15 minutes from my mama's house when I see that bridge. Bridges normally only fall in Minnesota. That's facts, Breeze. Bees Blade, some of the craziest and most fun live streams in the knife community. Shout out to Bees Blades. Go and sub to his channel. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Throw some frag titanium on it. Like I said, he did do a titanium version. He's got it. He's got a titanium version. I seen it on his Instagram. It looks amazing. Amazing. This it's a badass knife, and I love that he did a hollow grind on it, but damn it, just do something with the scales. And I love how solid it is. It is really solid. Maybe we need to do some spine whack hits to it. I'd carry a piece of broken glass if I carried a Cormorant and look better doing it. All of these bridges are sketchy. All right, guys. I thank all of you for coming in here. Thank you to all the patron members. Shout out to all the patron members. Here's one of the giveaway knives to the patron members. Just one of them, because we still have the custom knife coming back from Knife Modders. I love all of you guys. Thank you to all the moderators and everybody who comments and donates. You guys are amazing. I do appreciate all the donations. And the people who donated tonight, thank you very much. You guys are amazing. We'll listen to the titanium sheepdog just a couple more times. This thing sounds delicious. Damn it, this thing is good. You hear that extra click? See you later, Kayla. Or wait, no. Kalaya Chaos. K Mason, Q Ball, Todd. Thank all of you guys. Samurai Warrior. Yes, Merry Christmas to all of you. If I don't see you on Saturday, Merry Christmas, everybody. Maybe I might. Probably not. Maybe I might. But I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Peace. Happy holidays to all.